Let's bring in Keith Fitz-Gerald. Keith, it is huge. There's no question. We don't want to downplay what's happening in Europe, but you're saying whatever happens there, you got to stay invested somehow, some way. Explain.
Exactly. You know, it's dark, it's scary. I get that. There's no easy way around it. And I'd be remiss to sugarcoat this. But the important thing that investors need to think about today is the window is closing. There's still time to reevaluate, but mentally, you've got to invest as if there will be a tomorrow. And that's hard to stomach because a lot of people are having a tough go of it. A lot of people are losing money in the markets right now. But even after all the selling and nastiness, David, Microsoft is up 345% in the last 5 years. Tesla's up 1,400%. Even the S&P is up 85%. The dawn is always darkest before the sun comes up. So this is the mindset. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't feel great, but that's the one you got to have.
You know, that expression has never been more appropriate than during the past 2 years, with so many times during the pandemic. But like with the Russian invasion, I think, or the coming Russian invasion, as President Biden has said, you have all these setbacks. You know, you have all these pandemic setbacks where it looks like we reached the bottom, and then there's a new variant. And now with the Russian invasion, God knows what's going to happen. I mean, let's hope it doesn't happen. But if it does, it may go actually beyond Ukraine. So what do we rely on as a long-term stock that could go through bad iterations of what we're seeing now?
Well, that's the key. I mean, you have absolutely hit the nail on the head. If the shooting stays confined to Ukraine, and I pray it does, then we're looking at 5–10% purely as a result of the computers. But the moment Iran or a missile goes outside those borders, it's game on. It's going to get a whole lot worse. And frankly, there's going to be a lot of other things we're going to have to worry about beyond the stock market. But if you're talking about stocks that are going to make it, if we look back to World War I, we look back to World War II, we look to Korea, the Gulf, it's the big names that everybody has been selling hand over fist lately. Apple, for example, is not going to go away. Microsoft is not going to go away. If for no other reason, then loads of medicine and military hardware and think tanks depend on exactly the storage cloud and the software that those two companies produce. So there's a lot of stuff that can work. Obviously, you got defense stocks. Energy is going to be key. You want to hold on to that one. Medical is going to come to the forefront. So there's any number of names, but they are all going to come under pressure as the computers take over and the markets hit the eject handle.
What about tech? We now see it well under 14,000. It flirted with some territory above 14,000 for about a week or so, but it's come back down. Should we move away from tech stocks?
Well, I tell you what, a lot of people will tell you they would, David, but if you study history, that kind of stuff trumps value over time, every time. So if it's going to sell off, it's going to stink, you're going to lose money. I'm upside down on a couple positions myself, but in the long-term scheme of things, 5 years, 10 years out, those are the companies that are not going to disappear. If you're on the margin, you're a Peloton, you're a Netflix, maybe. But if you're a Microsoft, an Apple, even an Amazon, something like that, I would argue it's a lot harder to see those companies go out of business.
Now, the industrial stocks, we do know, I mean, the one thing that they passed inside the Beltway that had sort of bipartisan support was infrastructure. There's going to, of course, Lord knows if they're going to find the labor in order to hire to build the infrastructure. That's a whole nother discussion. But won't there be a huge demand for building supplies? I would suspect that that's one area you want to be in.
Yes, and I would strongly support that, but that requires political leadership, and I would argue respectfully that we don't have a lot of that right now. And so the key there is, if you're going to put America to work, really make an effort to put America to work. Our bridges are failing. Our airports are falling apart. We are substandard in the global community. So if we want to take a page out of the CCC nearly 100 years ago, that is a path forward. And you know what? That'd be appealing to a lot of people who want to go back to work.
Keith, we got to run, but I have to ask about taxes, because one good thing about gridlock in our political system is maybe we won't have any tax hikes in 2022.
Boy, I tell you, I'm not smart enough to figure that one out, but the Beltway boffins are going to get their hand in the pie no matter how you cut it, and that concerns me.
Boy, Keith Fitz-Gerald, you speak the truth. Sometimes it's a hard truth, but you speak the truth, Keith. Thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate it. Now this.
Hi, it's Keith here. Thanks for checking out today's highlight clip. What'd you think? Did I make sense? Is there something you'd like to add? Make sure you leave a comment down below, and of course, click subscribe to keep up right here on YouTube or sign up for the email newsletter at the link below. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram for my real-time thoughts on markets, analysis, and a whole lot more.